Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this video, we study one more lesson from the book Al-Qira'atul Waziha part 1st. That is lesson number 15. From here, we also learn the patterns of Arabic verb and the use of Arabic verbs and its various forms in the sentences and in our conversations. So at the very outset, we should know that the basic form of Arabic verb in the past tense, that is in al-mazi, is fa'ala, fa'ila and fa'ula. This is the basic form, or we can say structure or pattern of Arabic verbs, and most of the verbs come on this pattern. It has three radicals, it has three root letters, which we call as fa'ul kalima, ainul kalima and lamul kalima, and in English we call them as first radical, for which we can use the symbol or 1. Then we have second radical or 2 and third radical or 3. Look at the following table to understand it properly. So we have fa'ala. So first one is fa. So we say this is fa'ul kalima. Then the second radical, we say it is ainul kalima, and the third radical, we say it is lamul kalima. In this way, we can say about zahaba. For example, we have verb zahaba. So we say zal is the fa'ul kalima, that is the first radical, and then ha, it is the ainul kalima, or we can say it's the second radical, and ba is lamul kalima, or the third radical. In the same way, we can say about nazara. So nazara is another verb. So regarding this, we say noon is the fa'ul kalima, za is the ainul kalima, second radical, and ra is the lamul kalima, or third radical. Although most of the Arabic verbs are on the pattern of fa'ala, that is with fatha on all the three radicals, but there are many other verbs on the pattern of fa'ila, that is with kasra on the second radical. So the second radical is maksurul ain, and also there are verbs on the pattern of fa'ula, that is with second radical having dhamma. The second radical is mazmumul ain, but their number is lesser as compared to the first two types. Here we give a few examples of each pattern in the following table. On the pattern of fa'ala, we have examples zahaba, nazara, kharaja, jalasa. On the pattern of fa'ila, we have examples fariha, sami'a, shariba, alima. And on the pattern of fa'ula, we have examples qaruba, ba'uda, karuma, hasuna. But in the present lesson, that is lesson number 15, and also in forthcoming few lessons, we will be using verbs from the pattern fa'ala and fa'ila only. Now another very important thing we have to learn here is the conjugation, which is called as-sarf in Arabic, and in Urdu and Persian we say gardan. So of these verbs we have to learn gardan, we have to learn as-sarf, we have to learn the conjugation. So Zahaba means he went, and in the same way Nasara means he helped. This is the first form of the conjugation. This is the first form of the Gardan, and it is used for singular, masculine, third person. So it is used for Mufrad, Muzakkar, Ghaib. And for other numbers, gender and persons, other forms are used which are formed by adding suffixes like ta sakina, ta maftuha, ta maksura, or ta mazmuma, etc. For example, when we have to say you went, or when we have to say you helped, we say in Arabic zahabta, you went, nasarta, you helped. This is what we learn in the conjugation, in the sarf. In this way, by learning conjugation, we learn the use of these verbs and their various forms in the sentences. One form is called sigatun or siga in Arabic, and its plural is siyagun. So sigatun or siga is one form, and siyagun means many forms. Let us see the various forms of the verb. In the past tense, in al-mazi, which we can learn easily by memorizing the following tables. There is no option but to follow the traditional method. That means we have to memorize these basic conjugations, and each and every form, siga, should be at the tip of our tongue, and we should be able to use appropriate forms of the verbs in our sentences, in our conversation. There are 14 forms in every conjugation, which you can see in the following tables. This table shows the conjugation, that is as-sarf or the Gardan, of the pattern fa'ala. In the third person column, that is al-ghaib, we have 6 forms, 3 for muzakkar and 3 for muannas. The first one is for mufrad, singular. The second one is for musanna, that is dual, and the third one is for jama, that is plural. The first one is fa'ala, then fa'ala, then fa'alu. For muannas, we have fa'alat, fa'alata, and fa'alna. For the second person, or we can say al-mukhatab, we have again 6 forms, 3 for muzakkar and 3 for muannas. The first one is for singular, fa'alta, fa'altuma, and fa'altum. Then for muannas we have fa'alti, fa'altuma, and fa'altunna. And in the first person, that is al-mutakallim, we have only 2 forms used for 6. Fa'altu is for muzakkar as well as muannas. So Hamid can say fa'altu, as well as Maryam, she can say fa'altu. In the same way, we have fa'alna for muzakkar as well as for muannas, and it is also used for musanna and for jama. So it takes the place of 4 forms. This table shows the conjugation or the sarf or gardan of the pattern fa'ila. Here we have ayn maksur. So in the third person column we have 6 forms, 3 for muzakkar and 3 for muannas. So the difference is only that here the second radical has kasra. Fa'ila, fa'ila, fa'ilu. For muannas, fa'ilat, fa'ilata, and fa'ilna. In the second person or mukhatab column, we have 6 forms, 3 for muzakkar and 3 for muannas. Fa'ilta, fa'iltuma, fa'iltum, fa'ilti, fa'iltuma, fa'iltunna. And in the first person column, we have 2, fa'iltu for muzakkar as well as for muannas, and fa'ilna for muzakkar and for muannas, and also for musanna and jama. So any verb on the pattern of fa'ala will have the conjugation on the pattern of, or we can say will have the conjugation same as given in table 1, and any verb on the pattern of fa'ila will have the conjugation same as given in table number 2. Thus the conjugation of zahaba, which is on the pattern of fa'ala, having fatha on the middle or the second radical, that is ain, so its conjugation, its gardan will be zahaba, zahaba, zahabu, zahabat, zahabata, zahabna, same as that of fa'ala. And then for second person we have zahabta, zahabtuma, zahabtum, zahabti, zahabtuma, zahabtunna. And for first person we have zahabtu and zahabna. In the same way, the conjugation of shariba, which is on the pattern of fa'ila, while the second radical has kasra, so its gardan will be shariba, shariba, sharibu, sharibat, sharibata, sharibna, same as that of fa'ila. And then for second person we have sharibta, sharibtuma, sharibtum, sharibti, sharibtuma, sharibtunna. And for first person al mutakallim we have sharibtu and sharibna. Here we note very important difference in the use of verbs in English and Arabic languages, which can be seen in the following example. So in English we say he helped, she helped, they helped. And for second person we say you helped, you helped for singular, for masculine, for feminine, or for plural we say you helped. And then for first person we say I helped, we helped. Here we use the verb helped with all the pronouns, that is whatever the subject may be, the form of verb remains same in the past. But in Arabic we say, for example, we say nasara for he helped, and nasarat for she helped, nasaru for they helped, nasarta you helped, second person, nasarti you helped, nasartum you helped, second person plural, nasartum, nasartu I helped, nasarna we helped. So here we can see that with the change of the subject, with the change in the subject, the form of verb also changes in Arabic. After memorizing these conjugations, these basic conjugations, it is easy to use various forms of verbs in the sentences appropriately without making any mistake. it is highly recommended that we should start learning the conjugation of each and every verb we come across in the texts of this book. The verbs used in this lesson are as follows: Zahaba, Jalasa, Nazara, Fariha, Kharaja. For the conjugation of Zahaba, Jalasa, Nazara and Kharaja, we have to follow table number 1. And for the conjugation of Fariha, we have to follow table number 2. After memorizing the conjugation of these verbs and also learning the meaning of the new words used in this lesson, we will be able to read the text given over here very fluently and can understand and can translate it very easily. The following table gives the meaning of all the new words used in this lesson. Now let us move to read the text and try to understand and translate it. This is Ad-Darsul Khamisa Ashara, the 15th lesson. Ad-Darsu means the lesson and Al-Khamisa Ashara means 15th. Ad-Darsul Khamisa Ashara, 15th lesson. The first sentence of this lesson is At-Tilmizu Zahaba ilal madrasati. The student went to the school. Then in front of it another sentence is Al-Bintu Zahabat ilal bayti. So Al-Bintu is muannas, it is feminine, so that's why the verb is used as Zahabat. With muzakkar, with masculine, we use Zahaba, and with feminine singular, we use Zahabat. Al-Bintu Zahabat ilal bayti. The girl went to the house. Next sentence is Al-Waladu Jalasa alal bisati. The boy sat on the carpet. Al-Bintu Jalasat alal firashi. The girl sat on the mattress. With muzakkar we have jalasa, and with muannas we use jalasat. Then the next sentence is in the third line. Al-Bustaniyu Nazara ila Zahrati. The gardener looked at the flower. Al-Bustaniyu Nazara ila Zahrati. The gardener looked at the flower. And Al-Bustaniyu Fariha. So Fariha is on the pattern of Fa'ila, having kasra on the second radical on Ain kalima. Al-Bustaniyu Fariha Bizahrati. The gardener is happy with the flower. The gardener is glad to see the flower. Then the next is Hamidun Kharaja minal Junaynati. Hamid went out of the garden. Sajidun Kharaja minal Fasli. Sajid went out from the classroom. Then we have next section in which on the right hand side we have some questions and on the left hand side the answers are given to these questions. The first one is Man zahaba ilal madrasati. Who went to the school? Answer given to this question is Hamidun zahaba ilal madrasati. Hamid went to the school. Then we have Ila aina zahaba Hamidun. Ila aina zahaba Hamidun. Where did Hamid go? Zahaba Hamidun ilal madrasati. Hamid went to the school. Man jalasat alal firashi. Who sat on the mattress? Al bintu jalasat alal firashi. The girl sat on the mattress. Man jalasa alal bisati. Who sat on the carpet? Ana jalastu alal bisati. I sat on the carpet. So here we use the first person singular ana. So with that the verb is used as jalastu. With third person muzakkar singular we use zahaba, and with third person muannas singular we use zahabat, and with wahid mutakallim first person singular whether muzakkar or muannas we use jalastu or zahabtu. Ana jalastu alal bisati. I sat on the carpet. Hal jalasta alal firashi. Did you sit on the mattress? Here we are talking with the second person masculine singular. So for that we use jalasta. Hal jalasta alal firashi. Did you sit on the mattress? The answer given to this question is La. No. Ma jalastu alal firash. I didn't sit on the mattress. Hal jalasta alal kursiyi. Did you sit on the chair? Naam. Yes. Jalastu alal kursiyi. I sat on the chair. Aina jalasti ya Suad. So our addressee here in this question is Suad, second person feminine singular. So we use jalasti, jalasa, then jalasat, and with wahid mutakallim whether muzakkar or muannas we use jalastu, and with second person masculine singular we use jalasta, and with second person feminine singular we use jalasti. Aina jalasti ya Suadu. O Suad, where did you sit? She says Ana jalastu alal firash. I sat on the mattress. Aina waliduka. There is no verb used in this sentence. Aina waliduka. Where is your father? Answer Walidi fil baiti. My father is in the house. Hal huwa jalasa alal bisati. Did he sit on the carpet? Naam, yes. Huwa jalasa alal bisat. He sat on the carpet. Aina ummuka. Here again no verb is used in this sentence. Where is your mother? Aina ummuka. Where is your mother? Answer Ummi fil baiti. My mother is in the house, in the home. Then the next question is Aina jalasat hiya. Where did she sit? Here jalasat fil hujrati. She sat in the room. Then on the next page we have some tamareen. We have 4 exercises on page number 28. This is the first tamreen, tamreen number 1, first exercise. In this exercise we learn 5 forms of the verb, but we already explained through many tables the full conjugation containing all the 14 forms, all the sigas of the gardan. So we can see here that zahaba is not simply went, is not translated simply as went, but it actually means he went. So huwa is there. So zahabat means hiya zahabat, she went. And zahabta means anta, you went. And zahabti means you, female, went. While zahabtu is used for wahid mutakallim, so it means I went. Hamid can say zahabtu, as well as Suad can say zahabtu, ana zahabtu. So it means I went. So we can see in all these forms there is one pronoun which acts as fa'il. So it is better to learn the whole conjugation, the full table, wherein 14 forms of the conjugation of the gardan is given. So here in this tamreen only 5 forms are given, while we can easily learn 14 forms and you can use them as well through the tables that we already discussed earlier in this lecture. Now the second tamreen is, this is fill in the blanks. We have to use any suitable word to complete these sentences. For example, the first one is ana farihtu. So here bi harf jar is given, so we can complete it by using az-zahra. So we say ana farihtu biz-zahrati, anta farihta biz-zahrati, anti farihti biz-zahrati, huwa fariha biz-zahrati. So az-zahra, that is the flower, is used in these gaps, in these blank places. And also we see that in the first case where ana is used, the form of verb will be farihtu, and where anta is used, the form of verb will be farihta, and where anti is used, the form of verb will be farihti. In the same way, huwa fariha. Then other sentences you can complete by using suitable words in the blank places. The third one is again fill in the blanks. Tamreen number 3, exercise number 3 is imla al faraga bil fi'l al munasib. So here we have to bring any suitable verb, not only suitable verb but also the suitable form as well. So for example, the first one is hamidun ilal masjidi. So we say zahaba hamidun ilal masjid, because hamid is wahid muzakkar ghaib, and in the next one, that is in front of the first one, which is su'adu minal hujrati. Su'ad is wahid muannas ghaib, so we use kharajat. Kharajat su'adu minal hujrati. So in the same way, we have to use suitable verb as well as the suitable form of the verb in these blank places to complete the sentences. So other blank places you can fill yourself. Then the fourth exercise is the same. Again, we have to fill these gaps, fill these blank places with suitable verbs, with suitable verb forms. The first one is ana, then the blank place ilal bayt. So it's very simple. We say ana zahabtu ilal bayti, anta zahabta ilal bayti, anti zahabti ilal bayti, huwa zahaba ilal bayti. Here I would like to close this session with the hope to meet you very soon in the next video. Inshallah. Shukran lakum. Jazakumullahu khairal jazai. Wa alaikumus salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.